necessary. Today this would mean something absolutely differently. There is a consensus, and there are a variety of interest groups negotiating between each other what are the risks we may accept actually. This is, of course, a question of political, opinion, ideology, set of values, and so on. This means that the question of risk management is per se open to politics. It's the quintessential field of politics where different political parties argue with each other, where there are stakeholders like lobby groups and so on coming in and trying to get their way. And one first stage approach to this is what is called co-regulation. We've heard this word already. Co-regulation means, well, the state or the government is active in regulation, but what is regulated in detail gets negotiated with all the stakeholders concerned. That is with, say, the political parties, the media companies, the technical distributors, even actual citizens, actual media consumers, and so on, in order to establish common values. But that concept might fall short of the real goal, like in the FCC, the Federal Communication Commissions in the United States, when they allocate frequencies for television stations, they just tender these frequencies, and whoever raises his or her finger gets these frequencies, unless somebody else objects. So if somebody objects, which is the case most of the time, the FCC is sort of, the judge or the mediator between the different interests, and therefore finally a decision is reached in this co-regulatory spirit. The idea there is, of course, that all the stakeholders concerned really bring forward their objective opinion and their expertise in the fields, even if it only is in their own interest. But basically, what this approach lacks is the fundament in values and in the objectives to be reached with that. So with risk-based regulation, it is this is the attempt to solve this problem, actually. That means that a common understanding is reached among the stakeholders, what is to be done and what risks may be taken, also in the media, and also encourage innovation. So on the media field, this means, for example, that in one country you are not able to establish a large number of diverse newspapers or television stations. Well, in the modern world, it doesn't matter that much, because there is a possibility to establish a wide variety of internet sources, of bloggers, of citizen journalists, of news coming even from outside a specific country into the country, and thus forming a widespread opinion and getting the public sphere working. And if you define the basic risks that you are willing to take, the regulation is supposed to be adaptable to changing situation. That means you don't say, well, only if there are more than 2 stakeholders in one television company it's allowed. You say, well, I don't care about television, I don't care about the internet either. I want that every citizen in this country has at least, well, so and so many 24 sources of information from different political standpoints. How this is reached in any individual country, I don't care. So this is the idea to reconcile the different approaches inside the EU institutions, because the Parliament gets its pluralism the Council gets the sovereignty of each member state, because in each member state you can do it differently. You don't have to imitate in, say, Romania, the media landscape of France. You can do it entirely differently depending on what is needed there. And the Commission gets its free competition guaranteed, because as soon as you don't prescribe which media have to be there and what are they doing in detail, competition goes sort of automatically. So it adapts, or from the idea, it adapts to what happens inside a longer period of time, actually. So in media regulation, this means the bottom-up approach, which is the European Union fostering, that is looking at it not from the position of the media companies and regulating what they do, but assuming the position of the individual citizen, of the consumer, of the user of media, and looking which kinds of sources does this user have available to form his or her opinion, and redefine the goals. So today it might not be about how a publishing company or a television company goes about disseminating information and news. It might be about which access has every citizen to news, to information sources of all kinds, and so on. And right now the EU is preparing for a research project doing exactly that, is find out which are the indicators that are make it measurable that risk-based media regulation is actually functioning. And well, the results are not to be expected in the next 2 years or so. And one might even argue that this is really, in fact, another way of enhancing market liberalism and just circumventing classical regulation. But that is actually the direction the EU is, well, exploring right now. Thank you.